Hey guys, Spirit of the Law here. So, I heard you like archers. Maybe it's the amazing kill-to-death ratios, maybe it's the satisfaction of raining arrows into a choke point, or maybe you just enjoy the adrenaline rush of dodging mangonel shots. Whatever the reason, you're here to find out what are the top 5 archer civilizations. Now there are a lot of ways to interpret what that means, so for this list I'm going to be giving consideration based mostly on the strength of the foot archers, unique archer units, and the archer rush potential, though I am considering their strength in the late game here as well. Other things like how good their cavalry or siege are will not be factored in, so this isn't ranking the civilizations against each other overall, it's just their archers. With that being said, starting things off is the Rise of the Rajas expansion civilization, the Vietnamese. They have a few things going for them. First of all, their archery range units have extra HP, increasing as the game goes on. In Feudal Age, that's only an extra 3 HP for your archers, but that does maybe mean taking an extra hit here or there. Another more subtle bonus is that they see the enemy positions at the start of the game, which gives you a good chance to scout out your opponent a bit faster to find good targets for your archers in Feudal. In Castle Age, you get access to the Rattan Archer unique unit, which is a lot like a mix between the Crossbowman and Elite Skirmisher, with relatively high attack and pierce armor, making them unusually resistant to skirmishers. And speaking of skirmishers, Vietnamese and their teammates also get access to the Imperial Skirmisher upgrade, which adds 1 more attack and pierce armor. Overall, those are some pretty solid archer options, but their economy is maybe a bit too slow in the early game to make it higher on the list. Number 4 is also a bit of a slower civilization to get rolling, but with a bit better archer unique unit, and it's the Chinese. Now they don't technically have any direct archer bonuses, but all of their techs and upgrades are cheaper, which basically helps everything you're doing, including archers. The archery range is certainly decent, but their big selling feature is the Chuko Nu. Why? Well, because it's just so weird. It fires multiple arrows in every volley, with 1 arrow doing full damage and the rest doing 1 damage. All of those extra arrows make them particularly good against high pierce armor targets. Rams and buildings, for instance, go down much faster to Chuko Nu than to the basic archer units, and even skirmishers and Huskarls are afraid to fight Chuko Nu once they reach a critical mass. That's partly from the total number of arrows, but even just looking at their stats, their attack is quite high compared to the generic Arbalest, for instance. Now that's not to say a great archer civilization needs to have an archer unique unit. In fact, number 3 doesn't, and it's the Ethiopians. Their big archer bonus is that they fire faster. Now that's a bit better than extra HP in my opinion, because it makes them better at raiding and taking out units quickly, it makes them easier to micro, and it happens to give them an edge against every other archer line in the game with equal numbers in a good old-fashioned shootout. Backing that up is also a very good early economy bonus of an extra 100 food and gold each time you advance. That helps you get a blacksmith upgrade, economy tech, or something else to help you out. It's a very flexible bonus. I'd say that gives them the best archer rush so far on the list, with their Arbalest continuing to be effective throughout the late game as well. The main thing holding them back is the absence of a unique archer unit, and some missing units at the archery range in Imperial Age. Now number 2 is maybe a bit controversial and is probably a lot of people's number 1, but for me it's the Britons. With their nice economy bonus and speed boost to the archery ranges, along with the extra range on the units themselves, Britons can open with archers and just keep making them. In the late game, you have the always popular longbowmen, maxing out at 12 range compared to the onagers 8 or 9. The one unfortunate drawback, or necessary check and balance depending on how you look at it, is that they're missing thumb ring. That means their archers are a bit less accurate and reload slower than usual, which is especially noticeable with their inaccurate longbowmen. Britons, of course, are always popular on Black Forest with casual players because of how fun they are to use in choke points, but they're also fairly popular on open maps like Arabia, thanks to their excellent crossbows, which end with as much as 9 range in Castle Age. Now before I get to number 1, I have a few honorable mentions. First of all, while not strictly an archer civilization, the Huns deserve a nod for their cavalry archers as well as their archer rush potential, thanks to a strong early economy. It feels weird to call them an archer civilization, but they can keep up with many on this list, especially before their nerfs in the expansions. By the same token, the Mongols' archer line is also quite strong in the early game because of their economy, and they can do a solid archer rush, eventually followed up with their incredibly powerful Mangadai later in the game. Again, they're just not quite enough of a quote archer civilization for this list. I know some people are also going to want Italians in the top 5 with their Genoese crossbows and extra armor for archers, but I just don't see them ahead of any of the others on the list. Now you might be wondering, how can there be a better archer civilization left than all the ones mentioned? Well, just think, what's an archer's biggest weakness? No, not onagers, not skirmishers or rams, no, not huscarls, that's right, walls. That's why Saracens take the #1 spot, with their incredibly underrated team bonus that lets their archers do extra damage versus buildings. Watch them shred through palisade walls twice as fast in Feudal Age. Literally unstoppable. Oh, wait, now this is awkward. I accidentally read the wrong thing. Sorry, Saracens. I know this is unprofessional and I feel terrible about this, but I'm gonna have to take that award back. It turns out your team bonus is actually kinda bad. Yeah, sorry, quick correction. The #1 archer civ isn't Saracens, it's actually Mayans. That makes more sense now. Glad we're back on track. They have not only a strong economy with an extra villager from the start and resources lasting longer, but also a steadily increasing discount on their archers, which is effectively another economy bonus. They also have the plumed archer from the castle, which are basically a faster moving, higher HP version of the crossbowman. In the expansions, they even get a new technology, obsidian arrows, which gives their crossbow line an extra +6 attack against buildings. Sorry, Saracens, I didn't mean to rub that in. You really can't go wrong with archers as Mayans, and you regularly see people going either for the discounted archer line or a castle and massed plumed archers, backed up with either rams or eagles to soak up arrows. In my mind, they're the obvious choice as the #1 archer civilization. But those are just my top 5 archer civs. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.